Quick disclaimer, guys. I just wanted to say I am a licensed cosmetologist and have been doing hair for 12 years. I do not recommend those who are not professionals to follow this at home. This is just for fun so clients can see before and after during the process, or if you are licensed, you can see the technique I used in the formulas. I hope you guys enjoyed this hair transformation video. Subscribe, let me know down below if you want me to do more. So here's a video of me doing my friend Kristen's hair. We took her from this pretty rooty blonde to just icy goddess is what I would call it. It's not really silver, but it's not really blonde. It's kind of just like that metallic, smoky platinum tone. It was absolutely gorgeous. As you can see right here, so shiny. I'm so glad we recorded this whole process. I was a little frustrated, I will not lie, when she first asked me for this transformation because we did take several appointments to get her all over blonde, and then she tells me she wants to go a little darker. But she made a great choice, and we still left a lot of brightness, a lot of blonde in there. So here's a couple of before shots before we got started. Before and after from her very first time she came to see me. She lives really far away. She was going to someone else. So I said, okay, we're going to start the blonde process. It's going to take a couple of times before we can get you to that icy white silvery stage. When she first came to see me here, her original goal was to be just really, really blonde, just a little bit of a rooty blonde, not super dark. So that's what I was saying with my frustration because we were going towards full blonde. Here's the second appointment, still working towards that same goal, a lot more icy, and we did give her a good trim. Now here is her third appointment with me, and the goal this time is to darken up her roots, smudge them into the icy silver shade to where it matches her natural and to where she can go a little bit longer in between her appointments since she does live so far from me. I used a Famar backwards bib cape to protect her clothing and my white furniture. And now we're going to go in with her base color, which is from Mydentity. It's 6NI from Guy Tang, and I'm just painting all around the perimeter just to start smudging these colors. She had a little bit of regrowth, and then she also had at the top of those blonde pieces where we smudged or did a root tap with a softer blonde. So I wanted to make sure those were blended in nice and good, and then after we do that, I'm going to start sectioning from the bottom, really working that color in because I'm not going to use a board or anything like that. So I just want to make sure I apply enough pressure so it's totally saturated. So now that we got the first few sections done, we are going to move on to actually putting in another color, smudging in another color. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a small little section right here and just do a normal type of a weave. It's not too chunky, it's not too fine, and then I'm just going to add in 07N and 07P. I'm not really going to worry about folding that foil super high or tight, just enough to separate it from the bottom. This formulation is so pretty. I love shades EQ, and this is just going to tone down the blonde that she had in there just a bit, controlling any brass that was throughout the hair. I just really, really love this mixture. I also use 07N, 07P for a lot of my root taps on my blondes just to kind of shear it out and blend it. So it's one of my favorite toners. It's one of my favorite colors that I use. I can do a lot of different things with it. So just make sure you get those ends really saturated, get them covered, and then just fold the foil up. I love doing this type of technique with all my smudges that I do when I'm working with multiple colors. It's fast and easy. It didn't take me maybe 30-40 minutes to do her whole head like this, which isn't very long. Balayages and other things like that take a lot more, but since she already had so much blonde in there, we didn't have to do that. So this is what we're going to do for a few sections up. We're just going to take the sections down, paint the roots with the 6NI, and then alternating the 07N, 07P mixture. I'm not doing back to back. That way it's not going to be completely covered with the 07N, 07P because I do want to leave out quite a bit of her ends. I do want her ends to be very icy and blonde, so I'm not going to cover her whole entire head with the 07P, 07N mixture. When I do my smudges, I really don't like to just use two colors. I love to incorporate a couple of them just for extra dimension, shine, and I really feel like it helps break up any lines that you may have. I know a lot of people, when they straighten their hair, they don't want lines. They want it to just be soft and blended all the way down from root to tip, which is why I like to use multiple colors when doing smudges. It just helps them look seamless and blended. So this is me just basically doing everything I just explained. If you want to fast forward a little bit to see when I get higher on the head, I do something a little bit different, but this is just doing this exact same technique. Once I start getting higher on the head, I'm going to fold my folds up just a little bit higher. This will make it a lot easier to see the blonde pieces that I'm leaving out when I need to go back in with the next color. So now on this section, I'm going to do the same thing, but then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to totally cover her ends. I'm just going to smudge it into the root color and then just paint it down just a little bit, because I still want her ends to be very, very bright, very, very ashy, as you will see, you know, towards the final result. Why I'm doing this, again, I don't like to use two colors. I always like to incorporate multiple colors, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 if I need to do that. Mostly it's 3 or 4 though. So leaving out just a little bit of these ends will just give it that added brightness I want. I just really love the look of the roots being the darkest, fading into a little bit different color that's a little bit lighter, and then leaving the ends out for just brightness. So it's nice and seamless. You're gonna hear me say seamless, blending, all those kind of words a lot in this video, I'm sorry. So I will do a couple of foils with leaving some ends out, and then I will also do some foils with totally bringing the ends up like right now, just to give that added dimension. Again, I don't wanna do the saturation on all the ends on every single piece, because then it just won't be as bright as what I'm going for, or what my client is going for, I should say. And I do all my colors differently depending on how the client likes it. Sometimes I weave very fine pieces if they want it super blended. Sometimes I do just a regular weave like I am today. She likes to see a little bit of separation between her blonde and the other colors, which is why I'm not doing a very fine weave. Fine weaves just blend all those colors together to where it looks very natural-ish, if that makes sense. My hairstylist will definitely understand that, but she wants to see some bold, bright pops of blonde. So this is why I'm not really doing a baby light when I'm weaving her. I'm just doing a regular weave. And when I get towards the top, I'll leave even bigger pieces out so they pop a little bit more. Now that we are moving to the sides, I don't paint that 07N, 07P down as far. We want to keep as much brightness around her face as we can, which is why the sides and hairline and where she parts, I always keep the blonde higher up. So it just has that nice flow from the front to back. And now that we have her all foiled up, I'm gonna let her sit here and process no heat for about 15 minutes. And then once she's done, I'm going to mix up 07V and 07T from Shades EQ, and just putting that all over her ends that we left out, all over the blonde. Mixing these two, I find, is like the perfect formula to give that ultra cool metallic, icy blonde shade. Almost silver, not quite, because she wasn't lifted out as blonde as she needed to be silver, but it's very, very, very close. So I just mixed equal parts of those two with the Shades processing solution and let that set on the hair a good 5 to 10 minutes. After that, I'm pulling all the foils out, making sure every little piece is saturated. As you can see, there was a couple that I missed. So that's why I go back in. I really want to make sure I'm thorough. I'm going to just saturate those ends one more time, making sure that color is good and pushed in there. It looks really dark and crazy, like I totally just covered up all the blonde, but I assure you, once we rinse, you'll see it come back. Now, instead of just doing my normal toners right after or just shampooing, I'm going to pre-tone. And how I pre-tone is I'm using Fanola's No Yellow shampoo and No Yellow mask. I have a video coming up explaining the new Fanola No Yellow vegan shampoo and mask. That's more in depth, but when I was shampooing her and doing this process, I did not press record, so I don't have that for you guys. So after I do the no yellow, I'm gonna go in with 09N and 09T as just a glaze, just to seal everything, enhance that shine even more. As you can see, it's already starting to take. It looks absolutely beautiful wet, so you can imagine what it's gonna look like dry. So I just let this set in a good 5 to 7 minutes. Do not rush it. Redken Shades EQ is probably one of my most used color lines in the shop. I really love it. I love the shine. I love how gentle it is on the hair. It makes it look even healthier than when we started. So after we let that set, we rinse that out. We're going to just shampoo and conditioner, which lately has been by Sebastian. I really love this stuff. Now I'm just spraying Amika's Bombshell Blowout Spray just to give it some thermal protection before we blow dry, as well as some body. This is just right after I blow dry, no straightening or anything. I wanted to show you it straight before I curled it because you could really see how those colors melt together. That's why I love doing smudges. I love doing all the different tones in it. I don't just use 1 or 2 colors like I said. I really feel like it makes it blend better. It makes it very seamless looking. And that blonde, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. It wasn't just silver. It was more of that metallic, icy platinum blonde. As you'll see, of course, in every lighting, it's a little different. Right now, I've got it right beside my window and it's just the sun was really shining on it, so it really popped it out nice and pretty. So now I'm just gonna go in after we trimmed her and just put some waves in there. She loves to wear her hair like this, and of course, this is my favorite way to style any shorter hair. I love to just put some texture, some messy waves in there just to really show off the haircut and show off the colors. Anytime you do balayages or smudges, it just shows it versus just leaving it straight. You can leave it straight, it still looks pretty, but this looks even prettier in my opinion. And then after we get her curls all done, I'm going to just add a teeny tiny bit of Fanola's Restructuring Crystal Fluid Serum, just to add even more shine to it and help control frizz throughout the day without making it super oily, since I just used a tiny bit and I'm just separating out her curls like I always do. And this is the final result, you guys. As you can see, it's just that beautiful, metallic, ashy, silvery blonde. However you want to put it. Some people call this mushroom blonde. I don't know if I like that term, but it is so gorgeous. And I loved this transformation. So I'm really happy to share it with you guys. Leave me any comments down below if you have any questions, if you're a stylist. And I would love to make more videos for you guys like this. So let me know if you want to see those. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.